Welcome to the Yankee and Canuck podcast, Best Picture Series, where we talk about all the Academy Award Best Pictures, past to present.
And I'm your host, a Yankee.
And I'm your host, a Canuck.
And today we're going to be talking about Going My Way, the 17th Academy Award winning Best Picture. This is a 1944 picture. This one stars Bing Crosby. It's about a preacher man that goes to New York, I think, because there's like a church that's like not making a lot of money or something. And everyone's, not really doing so well. Then Bing Crosby comes up, shows up, and he starts singing, and everyone's happy, and everyone makes money and is prosperous again. I think that's the gist of the movie.
Yes.
Am I wrong or am I right?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, Bing Crosby's a kind of a progressive priest, right? And he's here to save the day and fix the church. And I think the church was in financial struggles, and so he takes over from the older priest, who's played by Barry Fitzgerald. And he's been there, the older priest has been there for, I think they said 40 years.
45 years.
In the movie.
He says it a lot in the movie. It's just 45 years. I'm like, bro, I get it.
He hasn't seen his mom in that time. He hasn't gone back home to Ireland in that time. But basically, Bing Crosby's character doesn't tell the priest that he's the replacement. He kind of acts as he's the apprentice or just there to help. And basically, I guess they decided they want to hurt the guy's feelings that he's being replaced.
Hey there, buddy. I'm not trying to replace your job. I'm just here to help you. Mouse, just stand aside and let me do all the work.
Yep.
Oh my God.
That's pretty much it. Yep.
Well,
and
a couple of things that happened in this Academy Awards pictures. So one of the things that happened was that apparently there's a film called Wilson. It's one of the pictures that was nominated for Best Picture. So Wilson. We did this whole tirade about Wilson that unfortunately we can't recreate for this one. It involves the volleyball having spider-like robotic appendages and comes back for his revenge.
Yeah. But anyway, volleyball Wilson from Castaway by the way.
Exactly. But anyway, The Wilson is about Woodrow Wilson, the president. So apparently Daryl F. Zanuck spent a lot of money trying to get this thing to win Best Picture. Didn't win, obviously, this other picture we're about to talk about. But that was one notable thing. What was the other notable thing about this ceremony?
One thing I found out, and I found it very strange, was Barry Fitzgerald. He got nominated for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor.
That's crazy.
For the same film. I mean, I can't recall a time that's ever happened. That's really bizarre. My guess is The Fix was in. Bing Crosby was going to be Best Actor, so they had to give him Best Supporting Actor to Barry Fitzgerald. And I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, we're just theorizing here, but I don't know. I mean, it's still bizarre to be nominated for two different. How can you be an actor and a supporting actor? You're either the lead actor or you're the supporting. How can you be both? Yeah. That makes no sense.
I don't know if that's ever been done or if it's been done since then, but not to my knowledge. So
that has to be a lot of lobbying done to get that through. I mean, there's no other explanation for this, but I mean, nonetheless, other than that, there's nothing really noteworthy about the ceremony or the film, frankly. The only other thing I can mention is that the only other movies, well, there are a few other ones. We just mentioned Wilson, but Gaslight and Double Indemnity were the other two pictures nominated for Best Picture. Also one called Since You Went Away, which I don't know what the hell that is. But Double Indemnity, I know, is a film that is referenced as probably one of the all-time greats, amongst film buffs. It's a Billy Wilder film. That one I know has been referenced from time to time. Gaslight, that one I know that's referenced because of the term gaslight. Like the term gaslighting apparently actually came from this film.
Yeah.
And I think
that one's got Ingrid Bergman's in it, I think.
Exactly, yes. And I think it also came from a Star Trek episode too, but it really came from this film in particular. So it's noteworthy on that standpoint. But none of those movies won Best Picture, only Going My Way. So what is this noteworthy for? Bing Crosby's in it, and he sings a lot.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else in the film that's noteworthy. That's it. He's just like this preacher man that comes in. He's just like, as I mentioned in the beginning, I'm going to come to town. I'm going to fix everything because everything's broken. I'm going to get all these boys, these riffraffs, and I'm going to make them sing in a choir.
And I like baseball.
Oh, and I like baseball, which you never see them play baseball, by the way. It just seems like it's a ruse to get all the boys to come together. Oh, hey, you're all going to do your part in the church. What about baseball? Shut up.
Baseball? What baseball? You take the bat.
That doesn't happen in the film, but I wish it did. It would have made it a little bit more interesting. But There are
Yeah.
other side stories too. Like there's like this young girl that ran away from home. She's like 18. She's like an adult. But anyway, she comes in. She's like, "Oh, I can sing and stuff." And there's a little scene where they're playing on the piano, and he's telling her like, "Your singing sucks. My singing's great. That's why I have top billing in this film." And so they go away, and then towards the end of the film, you see them alone again, and he shows up again, Bing Crosby, and then the father of not the girl but her husband shows up. They have a little thing going on. That's it. There's nothing else to that subplot other than it's just they couldn't figure out how to fill out time for this thing, so they were like, let's fill it with a bunch of BS and just call it a day, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's be honest. I felt the plot's kind of weak. I mean, the movie goes on, but I feel like there's no real clear path. I mean, it just there's not a whole lot of structure. I don't know. It almost makes you question, why isn't this movie more interesting? Because
exactly. I mean, because it's billed as a comedy. It's kind of funny at times, but for the vast majority of it, it's not even funny.
Yeah. There's a couple parts that are funny. Some parts, the banter between Bing Crosby and his friend, who's also a priest. And early in the movie, there's that golf talk. That was hilarious. I actually thought that was really funny, and I don't even like golf.
Well, the one that I laughed at was when Alfalfa got slapped around. There's a character that was actually played Alfalfa in the R Gang series, like a long time ago, the Little Rascals, aka. And tragically, that actor passed away when he was in his 30s. But but you know, other than that, like you mentioned, a couple of those scenes here and there, and
just here, certain spots there's some good humor, but it's literally a few times throughout the film. You know, I mentioned golfing. The actual golfing does take place at the end of the movie. That was actually really entertaining, I thought. And to come back from the golf talk in the beginning, bring it back to it at the end.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. But
you want to hear a fun fact?
Sure, yeah.
Bing Crosby died after playing golf in real life.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, he died in 1977, September, I believe. I know this because this was about a few months after Star Wars came out. That's how I grade things typically. Before and after Star Wars. Also, Elvis Presley died a couple of months after Star Wars, and he tried to see Star Wars.
Correct. We actually covered that. We discussed that on the podcast before.
Did we? I don't remember. But
yeah.
Another fun fact, two fun facts. But Bing Crosby in real life played a round of golf, and he just wanted a Coca-Cola, and he's like, that was a great round of golf, guys. And then he just dropped dead.
So are you saying that golf kills?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
It's a very, very dangerous sport, didn't you hear?
I thought football was dangerous, but no, I guess golf.
Golf is way more dangerous. The mortality rate is through the roof. It has nothing to do with the fact that a bunch of old men play.
Yeah.
No. Pay no attention to that. No.
I have some friends that love golf. They got into it. Now they're addicted to it. A lot of people get hooked on golf once you're into it.
Hell, I play golf too, like at a mutual friend's bachelor party. And, and the best part of that was just drinking the entire time and riding that little golf cart. That was great.
Nice.
I digress though. But going back to the film, the a cappella moments, that is apparently all the musical stuff in it. It's just, when you think of a musical, you think of like a non-diegetic soundtrack. So basically music that's heard by the audience, but it's not heard by the characters. That's usually what you think of. In this one, it's all diegetic. It's all like in the actual film, and it's usually just Bing Crosby just singing or playing the piano and singing, or he's getting his little choir boys to sing. That's it. It's kind of unusual for a musical to be like that, I think, in my opinion. It's not super unique. Like, I could think of Sister Act, for instance, where all the music is just like diegetic. They all sing like that too. Yeah. But like, I don't know, you could call that a musical. It is a musical, but that's not what I think of when I think of a musical.
It's basically this film. I mean, it is a comedy musical, but they don't really deep dive in the music. You know,
not really.
It's there. It's throughout the movie. I think he sings more than half a dozen songs. I'm pretty sure he actually recorded half a dozen songs or so. And it was on a record and was released and back in the day. But yeah, I mean, there is music throughout the film, but it's not like a traditional musical where, you know, you really get engrossed in the music and it's throughout, you know.
They're all like timey songs too that are apparently well known.
True.
So I mean, like, it's not new music as far as I'm aware. So I mean,
yeah.
It's just a showcase of Bing Crosby. And listen, the guy had pipes. He could sing. Famously, he sung White Christmas. Yeah. Everyone knows White Christmas. You know, it's just one of those, you know, it's one of those very popular, like, you know, culture, like, anthems or whatever, especially during Christmas. Exactly.
They also used Schubert, famous. Everyone's heard this song. Just some people might not know who it is, but Ave Maria, famous song. It's in so many movies.
Isn't that the title of isn't that a title of a Madonna movie or something, or a song?
That I don't know. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she was in Evita.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like maybe I'm mistaken. I'm probably I'm crossing wires here.
It's a musical, right? So
it is. Well, yeah, it's a musical that ties into what we're talking about. Let's talk about cheeseburgers for a moment here. There's nothing to talk about this film. There's nothing to talk about.
But yeah, Ave Maria, very famous song. It's a really great song by Schubert. I think it came out in the 1830s. I think maybe around that time. I always like when there's great classical music in these movies, and I enjoy a lot of it. And so that's a great song. Everyone knows it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's actually called something else originally. Ellen's third song, I think, is the actual name, but most people refer to it as Ave Maria.
Yeah, but when it comes to the music itself throughout the film, it's good music. It's nice to hear everyone is pitch perfect, practically, especially the choir boys, even though it makes no sense in the film for them to be singing. I mean, there's no real reason given for why they should sing for the church, other than the fact that Bing Crosby comes in and he's just like, hey, you want to go to the baseball game and stuff? Hey, before we do that, let's sing. Then after hours, ostensibly, of singing, they're like, all right, guys, you still want to go to the baseball thingamajig? And then the kids are like, no, let's keep singing. We love singing. I'm like, no kid on earth would want to keep singing. What is this? What kind of fantasy world? I get it.
Especially over baseball. I mean,
baseball back in that time was a bigger deal, but
huge. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, if that was your point, yeah, then I agree. Yeah. Exactly. So,
we don't want to play baseball. We want to sing.
We just want to sing. I mean, I get it. It's a Hollywood production, but that is unrealistic to the max. Come on, dude. Give me a break, man. The only other story that plays in is the whole thing with the Father Mackenzie, whatever the hell his name is. I don't remember his name. Some Irish dude, like Father Mackenzie. It's just like he's an old guy who goes around the church, and he's like, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And of course, Bing Crosby does think who stuff.
Mackenzie is. Who the hell is Mackenzie?
That's a Beatles song, Father Mackenzie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, O'Malley's Bing Crosby, and the other guy's Fitzgerald's character's name is Fitzgibbon, I think, right?
Yeah, I might as well check it out.
Something like that.
Yeah, you're right. Fitzgibbon. Yeah, correct.
Oh.
Yeah. So Irish.
Now all the
Irish
other
people,
characters, I don't remember most of the other characters. The priest, the lady that works at the church as well. Her name's Carmody, Mrs. Carmody.
Oh, is that the old lady that appears once in a while? She chases some people out with a broom at one point.
No, that's a different person. That was a tenant in that apartment complex.
Talking about the lady that sings or whatever.
I'm talking about the lady that works with them at the church. She helps out there.
Does she sing?
No,
she does not. Oh,
she doesn't sing. No, she takes care of the place. She cooks, she cleans, and does administrative things, I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, there are a lot of characters, and most of them are forgettable. So forgive me if I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I've seen this film, but I'm just like, what am I watching?
Yeah, all the other characters are kind of a few are just in the neighborhood. You get introduced to them early in the movie because that's when O'Malley shows up, getting a feel of the neighborhood, and they're kind of like, who are you? You know, what are you doing here, kind of thing. And so you do meet some in the neighborhood, and then you meet the other guy, the businessman, who's the father of that one guy who got married.
Is that the guy who's trying to collect the mortgage from the church?
He's the money guy, you know.
Okay.
So he's financing a lot of this and whatnot. So
we're gonna turn your church into a park. Okay. That sounds.
But, yeah, I mean, as far as the film, I think, like we mentioned, significant portion of the film is kind of boring. I mean, it really is.
Very
It
boring.
feels too long. It is too long. It doesn't just feel long. It is too long.
Because there's no story. There's no conflict. Yeah, the church is going to become
It's a
a
weak
park
plot,
or something.
sure.
Who cares? I certainly
Yeah.
don't care, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the problem. This movie is not a great for storytelling, and it's not a very great for being an actual musical. So it's like, what are you trying to do here? You know?
Yeah,
Like,
this is just showing off.
Yeah.
This is Bing Crosby showing off, as I mentioned. I mean, there is
and he's good. He's good.
He's
Actually,
very good.
in general. The performances are good in the movie.
He's a
all in
very
all.
good singer. I mean, he's a
Yeah,
fine
yeah.
performer, but he's also a very good singer. But the only other tinge of story that had potential was the whole thing with the Father Fitzgibbon thing, which is like I'm going to talk to the bishop. He comes back. He's all like down. Turns out the bishop is like, yeah, this dude was like kind of like your replacement after all or whatever. And he's just like, well, I'm going to pack up and I'm going to leave. And then he leaves and they're like, oh, no, we have to find the father. He left. And I'm like, well, he's a grown-ass man. He can do whatever he wants. But okay, call the cops, waste their time. So they, they call the cops and then they finally find him. They bring him back and he's just like, well, I guess I'll go back to my room then.
Yeah, actually, I thought the dynamic between O'Malley and Fitzgibbon, I thought was the most interesting. I really, the ending, for example, was quite nice. Earlier, when I was watching the movie, I just found it really shocking that, and I get it, he has to work there. He's been there for 45 years, but I found it really shocking and obviously sad that he never went back home to Ireland to visit his mother, who he said in the movie is now 90. I'm like, damn, you're a bad son. And
spoiler, in the end of the movie, he meets his mama.
Yeah, so basically O'Malley, after he's already, so at the end of the movie, O'Malley is leaving the church. He's being sent to another place. So the old priest Fitzgibbon is going back to take, he's going to be, in charge again. So as a nice gesture and a goodbye gift, if you will, O'Malley brings Fitzgibbon's mom from Ireland. She's 90 years old for a trip. And that was really nice. Very heartwarming.
Yeah.
So the movie in many ways is a very heartwarming movie, and there's some elements like that I like.
Yeah, and it's funny that I think, was it before or after that where the church randomly burns down and they're trying to rebuild it?
That was bizarre to me. I mean, there's some financial, part of the plot is the financial struggle.
Yeah.
So O'Malley's being sent there to kind of fix the place up, which he, in one scene, he kind of does.
Thanks to Bing Crosby and the choir boys, they get a deal from Fred from I Love Lucy, who plays a music producer.
Exactly.
And then they get a lot of
there's all
money.
this progress. There's progress, there's money, things are looking great, and then
it
church
burns down.
Oh, well, we're going to... Oh, well, it happens. Maybe it's a sign that I should not be doing this anymore, or whatever.
But it's also towards the end of the movie, so I was like, "Wait a minute, this is how the movie's ending?"
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, "What is this?" And then they're rebuilding the church, and then it's just like, "Well, Father, I have to go away to a different place because the plot demands it."
Oh, well, you were a great preach. I didn't like you in the beginning, but I think you're a fine lad, or whatever.
And that's how the movie ends. And there's a sequel to this film, too, because this film was very popular. It made a lot of money and whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever. Yeah. But, like, it didn't need to win Best Picture. I mean, there's nothing about this that screams Best Picture. It's just a routine, generic, run-of-the-mill Bing Crosby film. There's nothing wrong with that, but they ain't worthy of no Oscar statue. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, honestly, this for this year, 44, unlike a lot of the other years where I'd seen more than one movie or sometimes a couple of them that year, I haven't seen the other movies that were nominated. I'm familiar with obviously one or two of them for sure, but I haven't seen them, so I can't exactly say, but I would be shocked if this is the one that deserved to win. I find it extremely unlikely.
Yeah, listen.
That being said, I don't know, but
I read the other ones, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, and I'm just like, listen, Gaslight alone is way more interesting as a premise compared to this.
It has a story, it has a good premise, right? So
yeah, it's about a woman that's literally getting gaslit by her husband or whatever, her lover, or whatever it is. And it's just like, and she's driven mad by it because he's telling her all these lies and saying they're true. That is far more interesting. That alone. And that's just one movie on this list. Listen, Wilson, I don't know. I haven't seen that. Wilson's considered one of the worst presidents in American history. That could probably be more interesting than this thing. I just like, I don't know, man. There's just like, there's no there. It's just like, oh, made a lot of money and it's very popular. I think it gives me the impression that movies like this ended up making the Academy being more deterrent from giving films like this Best Picture. Oh, just because it's popular in the public eye doesn't mean it needs to be Best Picture. So that's why you see a lot of obscure films, especially in the way later decades, getting Best Picture. That's my theory. That's my assumption. But yeah.
Well said. Well said.
Well said.
That's why, man. I'm out.
I think our idea for a sequel to Castaway starring Wilson, the volleyball, has more potential.
It really does. Like
we really could.
Wilson, I really want you back in my life, Chuck.
No, it's just like
I am Wilson. Remember me, Chuck? It is me, Wilson.
Chuck Noland or something. Noland, right?
Chuck Noland. Remember me? I am Wilson. I'm from the island. We spent many years together. You were my lover, and you left me for a human woman.
Oh, man.
The aliens picked me up, gave me this robotic body. Now I have tentacles.
Yeah. There you go.
Not tentacles. They were spider legs.
Spider legs, yeah. And then he's going to go back and free all the other volleyballs, and they have an army. They take over Earth.
Yeah.
You are free now, other Wilsons.
Involved.
You may go or stay there. That's fine too. You are free to do whatever you want. I am Wilson, your liberator.
We got a movie right there.
Oh my God.
That's a winner.
Now
That's
that
a winner.
Deserved to win Best Picture, not this thing. That's what I'm telling you right now. So, all right. So, I think there's nothing more to talk about this film. So let's just go ahead and give it a rating.
Sure, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5.5 out of 10. You may be wondering, that's not as bad as I would have thought. Because the music is effective, while the movie has a lot of problems. Performances were there. I liked some elements of it. It's just not a very good movie. And it's too long, too boring. Weak plot, like I said. I wouldn't watch it again. I can see why some people really enjoyed it, especially back in the day. There's kind of a certain charm to it, I guess. There is a little bit, but it's just not very good. Like I said, too long, too boring. And it's probably one of my least favorite of the Best Picture winners so far.
It's pretty down for me too. Listen, this is not the worst or among the worst, in my opinion, Best Picture winners. No. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. It's watchable when it's decent. Like, the music is great, like you said. You know, the performances are fine. Everyone hits their marks. Everyone has a role to play. You know, it's interesting to see certain actors, such as Fred from I Love Lucy, come in, and you're just like, that's interesting. You know, things like that. But yeah, there is no real story here. Not a very strong story, anyway. It's not worthy of Best Picture status. But, you know, I can't say that I regret watching this at the end of the day. I definitely will not be watching this anymore. This is the first and only time I'll be watching this for the rest of my life. But Cimarron is worse. Broadway Melody's worse. Grand Hotel's worse. So,
this is like in the Grand Hotel. Yeah, I don't. Out of those, I'd rather watch Grand Hotel than.
Oh hell no! Well,
like Broadway Melody, Cimarron was pretty rough.
Grand Hotel was dreadful, but I really watched.
At least there was a murder scene or two in it that was entertaining. It was like, oh man, that's crazy. Did that really happen?
I'd rather watch this 5 times in a row because at least Bing Crosby singing is enough to keep me going. Be like, yeah, this is nice. I digress. I digress.
I agree with you though that if you're into film and this is a movie you can watch once and be done with it. And honestly, I don't regret watching any of these. Obviously, we're doing this series, and I think it's kind of cool to watch a lot of these movies, and even the ones that aren't good, you know, you see it, you get to see what it's all about and judge it.
Of course, but in terms of leisure time, this is like I can't say I wasted my time, unlike some of the other ones I mentioned. So
fair.
It's got that going for it. And thank God, no source material, so I didn't have to waste my time further. You know, and I do it to myself.
No novel, no play, nothing for you.
No play, no nothing. This was just some poor little writer was just shoved in a closet and forced to write a Bing Crosby story in the course of a week, probably, and be like, all right, here, it needs more work, guys. The plot's not fully developed. And like, we're going to take it and we're going to run with it. Now get out of here.
The writer wrote all that so he could meet Bing Crosby as hero, and then he never even got to do that.
No, he was shown the door, be like, get out of here. Oh, but I wanted to see Bing Crosby. Come on. Oh well.
least I got paid. Oh, I only got paid $10. Oh.
Actually, fun fact too, one of the writers ended up writing The Greatest Show on Earth. Which,
wow, okay.
Yeah, which also won Best Picture, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did, yeah. It's a
sure.
Cecil B. DeMille film. So, yeah, so interesting fact there. So maybe he wrote some of the more interesting aspects of the film. Who knows? But
maybe, yeah.
Nonetheless, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll be seeing you for the next one.
Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.